Wait to hear the last 8 weeks. Welcome back once again to the worldwide broadcast of the Ted and Austin Brower Show, bringing you the latest world news and health research. Hope you guys are having a terrific day today, as always. I was pulling up YouTube right here. I was making sure it was working. And, yeah, YouTube Live, going hot. And STR Goddess, good morning. Godds, I say that right? First one on there. You guys are awesome. Let me get some great emails from you. And, yes, I'm going to complete the top 10 things to avoid doing if you're trying to lose weight.
Will you please do that? I've been getting harassed.
Listen, yesterday I cooked the clock. My bad. Sorry. And now today I'm going to make sure we start off with that stuff. So
You've strung this out for 3 days.
Have I? Has it been 3 days?
No, yeah, started on Wednesday. It's Friday.
I would never do that to you guys. I would never string you guys out for 3 days. But at the same time, I gave you guys a huge deal on CoQ10 and Cortisol Buster.
Top 10 ways to burn and melt body fat like you're putting the doggone butter in a microwave. By the way, don't use microwaves. Bad. Get them out of your house.
But make sure if you do it, it's real butter.
You don't even have a microwave in your house, do you? When you were building it, you said no microwave.
I don't own a microwave, period.
I had one that was basically that we had over the stove that I put on top of the refrigerator.
Move to the pantry.
Yeah, I use it like once a year to melt something.
I mean, here's the thing. They're convenient to have when you really need something in a hurry. I just don't like them. I've done enough research on them.
I don't cook in them ever.
No, when I built my house, as far as the vent above the stove, I just decided to opt out. I was like, if it's not there, you don't use it. And so I could probably put one in the garage and have one like that if I wanted to for a backup. But I just,
You have mine that sits in the closet that I don't do anything
you don't
with.
use stainless steel and a pan of butter,
No, stainless steel. Cast iron's nice, but it takes too much maintenance.
Man. I love it. It tastes great when you're making eggs, but you got to keep up with it all the time. And I got 3 kids that go through, I don't know, probably about a dozen eggs a day, and it's just too much to try to keep up with that.
Man, I tell you what, we're the egg-eating family. Oh, by the way, today I'm going to cover how sometimes you have scrambled thoughts and why your brain's not working right and why you have problems with up and down emotions. And we're going to go into detail on the causes of that, along with the top 10 ways to burn body fat. So you guys stay tuned. This is going to be a heck of a health show.
Well, I'm going to get into it. I know everybody's waiting on it and make sure everybody's got the YouTube platform. Yep, YouTube's up and running. And so getting into this first says the 10 things to avoid if you're determined to lose weight. Now, yesterday I covered 2 of them, and I'll briefly cover them if you guys didn't hear it yesterday.
Well, I had no comments on the first 2, so I want to make a few comments since we're going to take time on this now. By the way, get your pen paper out and take some notes on this. If you're not driving in the car, don't do this if you're driving a car. Don't just listen. You take notes later.
I don't need somebody having an accident.
No.
Austin and Ted told me to take notes while I was driving.
Don't do that.
No. You don't need a ticket either for riding and driving.
One time it was so funny. I was doing the top 10 foods never to eat. May cover those today, too. And I remember I was doing it on a huge station up like in Pennsylvania, and someone finally, sent me an email or a letter or whatever and says, I was late to work. You didn't finish a top 10 list for an hour. I had to sit in the parking lot and listen. It was awful.
That's not going to happen today. Nobody's going to be late to work. And if you have to, you can just go back to thebrowershow.com and listen to the whole list.
It's early in the morning. People should already be at work. So
it's California.
That's true.
We got a lot of listeners out there still in that interesting state. So first we'll get into it. Drinking sugary drinks or alcohol regularly. I've told you guys before, one of the fastest ways to pretty much pack on body fat, if you like it, is drinking soda and sugary drinks on a regular basis.
It's the calories and the high fructose corn syrup.
Here's the problem with it. You don't really factor in the calories. An average sodas are around 160 to 180 calories. Pure sugar. There is no positive outlook or positive option with sodas. There's no benefit to the body. Even the high fructose corn syrup, the body has a hard time even trying to process it as energy. It literally Swiss cheeses the liver. It's horrible on the liver, causes massive fat buildup, hence the non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So if you're trying to burn body fat, stay away from sugary drinks. And that can also mean really heavy fruit juices. I'm not a fan of fruit juice at all. I rarely ever drink fruit juice. If you're going to make juice, you really just need to eat whole fruit. If that's what you're wanting.
It gives you fiber, too.
Yeah, because you get the fiber with it, you get everything it's designed to do. You're not just drinking it. And also, too, drinking alcohol regularly. You want to stop burning body fat, start drinking alcohol regularly. The body's production of lipase completely stops. The pancreas production of enzymes to burn body fat completely stops. Pretty much it takes about 3 days to get back to homeostasis after you drink alcohol. And so at that point, you're not burning any body fat.
If you drink twice a week, you're not going to burn fat.
Correct. And I've told people before.
And that's only an ounce.
Yeah.
That's one beer.
Well, pretty much it's enough to shut it down.
Yeah.
And so,
it's so poisonous for the liver.
That's what I've told people. If it's some special occasion, if there's an event, if it's a Christmas party, whatever, a little bit of alcohol's not going to hurt your blunt your ability to burn body fat all year long. But drinking on a regular basis, stay away from it. Same thing with sodas and fruit juices. Anything you want to add on that way, I go number 2.
Well, yeah, it's the same thing. My life is doing great, then I started drinking alcohol. It didn't stay great. It starts going sideways. It goes downhill really, really bad. Or people go, or you can say it this way: my life was a wreck, and then I started drinking, and it got better. It doesn't work that way. It's what I say the other day. These crazy people send me these letters. My life was awful. Then I started going to strip clubs. Now it's great. No, it's not. It's awful. There's certain things you just don't do. And I say that in jest. Obviously, I don't do strip clubs. But the crazy part about it is that people need to realize there's some things that you just don't need to do that aren't healthy for you. And especially if you have genetic predisposition for alcoholism. I've got a friend of mine. Mom was an alcoholic. Brother's an alcoholic. He wouldn't touch a drink. Now he's drinking. Now he stays drunk all the time. He's a great guy. He's very successful. But he's got a wine cellar. Nicest wine cellar I've ever seen.
That was the coolest wine cellar I've ever seen.
Oh, my gosh.
It's like a cave.
No, it's underground. He had a guy come in from Austria and built arches in it with brick. It cost $500,000.
It's absolutely cool.
No, it's crazy. But the problem is he stays drunk all the time.
Yeah, it could be a great bunker down there.
Yeah, go underwater, man. If the power goes off, it's
Florida where everything's underwater.
He's got pumps in there to keep the water out. He had to build a bathtub shell and pump underneath it.
As long as you got generators on the pumps, you're fine. But
as
on a long enough time scale, yes, you're right. Anyways, number 2, not eating enough protein and fiber with meals. Huge factor. Going in and skipping protein or fiber at breakfast
and
or
no
lunch.
vegetables. You got to eat vegetables. Low glycemic vegetables. Stay away from the high glycemic vegetables like carrots. Stay with the green stuff.
Yeah.
I know they're boring. I got it. And if you're really dialing it in, you can go ahead and throw mixed vegetables into it. But don't be just living on corn and carrots. They're too high glycemic.
Protein's non-negotiable at breakfast or lunch. Eggs, grass-fed beef, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, chicken. Protein powder.
I don't like the yogurt if it's not completely raw. If it's ultra pasteurized, it's junk.
When I'm referring to dairy, guys, I'm really only ever referring to raw certified cow's milk or raw certified yogurt. We have a Connect down here in Florida.
Or goat's milk, yeah.
Or goat's milk. I don't recommend store-bought milk at all. But what they've done now with the processing, with the ultra processing, the ultra pasteurizing now, it's just absolute trash. What it does to the body, what it does to the immune system, what it does to the digestive tract. It's so processed now, it can pretty much sit on the shelf without being refrigerated.
Well, that's why then everyone wants to eat Greek yogurt now. It's just it's ultra processed. It's garbage.
Yeah, so that's not eggs the best. Protein shake, fit food. Start off in the morning.
Cook real butter.
The body doesn't need a copious amount of carbohydrates in the morning. People don't realize that. When you eat these really high carbohydrate breakfasts like pancakes with potatoes and all this stuff, I know they taste good. I know pancakes are fun, but I rarely ever eat them. All it is a big insulin spike in the morning, and it has a tendency to throw off your entire pretty much insulin rhythm all day. Because what you do is you start chasing this up and down yo-yo all day long. You're eating carbs, insulin spikes, blood sugar drops, then you start chasing that all day long.
Eat 3 eggs in the morning cooked in butter, real butter.
With some fit food. That's my stack in the morning every single time. It says modest 20-30 grams of protein with fiber is one main meal in the morning. Shifts your appetite in a favorable direction for the whole day. So plenty of fiber to stabilize hunger and reduce impulse eating also helps. Number 3 on here, keeping an irregular sleep schedule. This is one that a lot of people have a hard time with, including me. I have kids. I have a kid that likes to get up in the middle of the night and jump on the bed because he thinks it's 2 a.m. and everybody else needs to be up. That's fun to deal with. So poor quality sleep is a powerful driver of overeating. You got to control yourself with it. Meta-analysis on sleep deprivation found that sleeping less is linked to higher levels of ghrelin, hunger hormone, and disrupts leptin, hormone that signals fullness. 2025 review also found that sleep deprivation led to increased calorie intake, partially from excessive snacking on high-fat and carbohydrate-rich foods. Fixing sleep isn't a diet. It's one of the most effective weight loss supporters there is. Aim for consistent bedtime and wake-up time even on weekends. Protect your sleep window like you would a critical work meeting. Same time, same priority, no negotiation. Once sleep stabilized, appetite and cravings often drop within days. That's a big one. Anything you want to add on that?
If you don't sleep, your body doesn't recover, and your cortisol goes through the roof. In fact, it basically prevents your brain from clearing out metabolic waste, which directly impairs focus, and and goals and everything else. I mean, you got to have sleep. If you don't get, I learned in psychology, you don't have sleep for 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 days, you start having psychoses. You start seeing stuff, and you start just going crazy, to be honest with you. You can't do it. I mean, they've learned that with troops. The troops have to sleep.
Yeah, at some point you got to crash out.
Sleep, yeah.
Even if you're getting, they've looked at it with 4-hour windows. You do 4 hours sleeping, then basically 4 hours off, and 4 hours on and 4 hours off, and they switch and do that. And that's not the best optional way to do it. Obviously,
that'll age you quick, but it'll keep you going.
It'll keep you functional. It'll keep you functional. It'll keep your brain alive. But again, make sure you get enough sleep. Number 4, habit to avoid: eating while distracted. Eating while watching TV, scrolling, or driving makes it easier to consume more because you're less aware of how much you're eating and how satisfied you feel. Mindless snacking often leads to overeating. Try to eat at least one meal a day without a screen. Over time, focusing on undistracted eating builds better self-regulation and reduces mindless overeating. This is one of the reasons why a lot of times when people eat, when they watch movies and dinner and stuff, you always end up eating too much. You're distracted, you're not focused, and you just chow down.
Now you go to movie theaters and gorge yourself.
Oh my gosh,
this is ridiculous.
The size of
they'll bring you full hamburgers and ice cream and everything else.
The thing is, I feel like at some point they're going to be coming in with like pool buckets, like stuff they 5-gallon buckets of popcorn. And the people, the movie theaters, every time I go to movie theater, it's like everybody keeps getting fatter and fatter and fatter. And as soon as it's going to be like, oh, you got to buy 2 seats now to come to the movie theater. And I'm going to say this. If you are that obese, watching movies at home, nobody wants to sit beside you in a movie when you're hanging over a foot on each side and going, the whole movie. It's obnoxious.
I told you, I sat beside that black guy.
Yeah, it's happened to you too.
And I'm
going to move.
Not picking on him because he's black, but I mean, he was monstrous, and he kept passing gas. And I'm
right beside you.
And he wouldn't stop eating. He had bags of food.
That's what I said. It's like, do you stop eating, dude?
Awful.
Stop eating.
The methane poisoning was awful. It was horrible. My eyes were watering.
That's why a lot of
times. Terrible. His own sister wouldn't sit beside him. I'm not sitting by him. It was awful. He's like 6'6", about 400 pounds.
It's a joke, but it's annoying as crap. It's a pet peeve of mine. That's why a lot of times I go to movies. A lot of times I'll wait until a movie's been out for a little bit, and I always sit in the back row at the top. I want an elevated position, and I like to be by myself. I don't like anybody sitting beside me.
Well, no. The problem was that one movie theater you go to, it's always packed out.
Yeah, especially movies come out.
I go to the one now that has the IMAX theater. It's always empty because the seats are horrible. I bring my back insert, but there's nobody beside me ever. It's great. The other day I was in there watching Spider-Man, which by the way is a pretty good movie, and there's like 10 people in there. It was great. Now, if I'd gone to Austin's theater, been packed out again. I said, you know what? Not doing that. I don't want to. The last guy passing gas beside me, that was enough. I haven't been back there since.
The time to be alive was during COVID. My movie theater, they wouldn't shut it down. They considered it essential some odd way. And we would go, like me and a couple buddies would go on like a Wednesday night, and they did $5 movies on Wednesday, and we'd go, and we had the whole movie theater ourselves. Yeah. And when there was no movies were coming out, they started running throwbacks. So those were great. They brought out Die Hard. I got to see Die Hard in the movie theater. I missed that chance because I was a kid when it came out, and I was like, "Oh, I'm totally going to see that." We go in there. It's only us 3. We have the whole movie theater ourselves for $5. I was like, "This is cool," but that's long gone now. That was COVID. Number 5: constantly snacking through the day. You're laughing at me.
You're reminiscing about the days of COVID.
The days of COVID. There was good and bad parts to it. Habit 5. Constantly snacking throughout the day. Frequent snacking makes it harder to recognize real hunger and fullness.
That's a big deal.
This is probably one of the number one fastest ways to get really fat. Because what happens is you don't factor in the little calories that you're adding in. You go to the big meals, right? All right, I mean, chicken and broccoli and this. Okay, cool, got it. 400 or 500 calorie meal. Well, then you start eating Lifesavers a couple of times throughout the day. You eat a couple Yorks. There's 60 calories a piece for a York, by the way, for a little one. And all of a sudden, if you actually add it up, and I've done this before with customers and with friends, you'll find you got an extra 500, 600, 700 calories in snacks all day. And that's not a lot of food, by the way. 500, 600 calories of candy or snacks is hardly anything. And you'll realize, man, that's why I'm getting stuck up. I'm eating my food, I'm eating clean, but I'm adding these little calorie things all day that are adding up throughout the day. It says the takeaways that not everyone has to have a strict schedule, but regular, deliberate eating will reduce decision fatigue and make appetite feel more manageable. A simple approach is to choose set meal times throughout the day instead of continuously snacking. Because remember, your body needs to have multiple small meals throughout the day to keep the metabolism running hot. 6 small meals a day is best. But don't let those 6 small meals turn into 12 little snacks all day that you're using a bunch of extra little stuff. And I hate to say it, but also watch out for nuts with snacking. Specify how many you're going to eat. I used to do this when I would have been in contest prep. I would literally allow myself 12 almonds. That sounds really weird, but it was 12. I have in a Ziploc bag, and that's all I got for a snack on that because it's really easy, especially like macadamia nuts or cashews.
Loaded with oil.
Eating them, they're good, they're yummy, but after a while, you're like, man, packing on weight. Well, yeah, you're eating a tub of cashews every other day.
Well, and also remember, if your ideal weight's 120 pounds and you're a woman, okay, and some women are saying 120 pounds. I haven't been that since I was like in junior high school. Okay, well, just whatever. 120 pounds. That's going to be about 6 200-calorie meals a day. That's it. Because you times it by 12, which is 1,200 calories, and that's it. That's how many calories you eat per day. If you're a guy and you want to weigh 180 pounds, you stay at about 1,800 calories a day, so that's 6 300-calorie meals. Now, what I've learned, and this is something that I had to really start to moderate and take care of myself on because I'm down 14 pounds now since Christmas, is that I've found out that if I have my eggs first thing in the morning and then I have my protein shake at lunch after I work out, that at that point, I don't need to have another meal before like 5 or 6. Now, I'm just talking to you what I have to do personally. And because if I do, I bump the calories up too much. And what I've learned is that if I have to absolutely eat something at 3 o'clock, I'll eat a boiled egg. Not a fried egg, a boiled egg.
Boiled eggs are great.
Because you cut the calories out of the butter.
60 calories for one egg.
And you dump a little bit of no mayonnaise. You dump a little bit of mustard on it, a little bit of salt. It tastes pretty good, and it'll stop that hunger craving. Now, then what I do is I have my chicken and vegetables at night, and then I don't eat until I'm gorged. I eat until I'm really comfortable, and I stop. And if there's anything left on that plate, I'll finish that like at 9 o'clock at night, and that keeps my caloric intake down. And I've learned that's how I've been doing it now, and I've got the weight down to like 196 now. I've got 3 more pounds to go, and that's as low as I want to go. But it's been interesting, but I've taken really, really slow doing this. I have not tried to really speed it up because you start losing 3 or 4 or 5 pounds a week, you're going to burn muscle quick. And you don't want to do that, especially if you're over the age of 50, because it's too difficult to get the muscle back. It really, really is.
Cashews do taste great. I just want to make a comment on that. I mean, they're good, but measure them out if you're going to eat them on there.
The thing that gets me are pine nuts.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I can grab a handful of pine nuts.
Well, it's in the probably, like I said, a lot of times you're snacking on them, you're doing something, you're working on a laptop, and you're just sitting there and just hammering them down. Next number.
And be careful with dried fruit, too, like dates.
I don't touch dried fruit.
Boy, it'll run
yeah,
your sugar up
quick.
And
the problem with dried fruit, too, you got to remember is a lot of times it's really high in sugar. And one thing about this, you got to watch dried fruits. Also, it will increase risk of cavities, too. Because a lot of times those fruits, they stick in your molars. And if you're not washing your teeth, brushing your teeth, rinsing your mouth out right after you get done eating them, they'll stick in there.
Your mom had that happen to her. She was eating those fruit roll-ups, and then all of a sudden she had 3 cavities in her back molars on the side where they stuck in, and she had to have them all drilled. Boy, that was it for her, and she said she never touched it again.
Any of that gummy, chewy stuff like that that's real high sugary, watch your teeth on it. Make sure you're using our brushing rinse after you get done. That's the hydrogen peroxide. Really, really good formula, no fluoride. And wash your mouth. I always recommend, after you get done, if you're eating something like that, always rinse your mouth out with water. Just rinse your mouth out with water, and you're drinking water anyways. Drink more of it. Rinse your mouth out. Get that stuff off your teeth. Number 6, underestimating extras. This is another
you just covered that.
Well, no, but this one is this one's different as far as also looking at dressings. This is what I want to cover: sauces.
Yeah.
This is a big one. I remember years ago, I had a friend of mine. He was trying to lose weight. He was eating a lot of salads, like grilled chicken salads, which is great, by the way. Well, I'm in his kitchen one day. And he's making a grilled chicken salad, and I'm watching him make it, and I'm like, all right, pretty good. About 4 ounces of chicken on it. And he pulls out this thing of ranch. It was like a half a cup of ranch.
That's at least 1,000 calories.
And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, he goes, I love ranch. I'm like, I can tell. I said, you want to have some salad with your ranch? I'm like, okay. And he's like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, dude, there's 120 calories in a tablespoon of ranch, and it's all soybean oil if it's not like an organic avocado
Or canola oil.
Or canola oil, or both. That's always the gift. They do both. Canola oil and soybean oil. I'm like, oh, yeah. You're just loaded in there.
And that's how you clog your clog. That's why you have a heart attack.
Those are really, really bad with salad dressings. You have to watch those so much with the oils. If you get ones with good oil, like avocado oil, like we had, there's one you get as it's avocado oil ranch. Really good. We have it at the house, but I use very small amounts of it on food because it will rack up the calories really fast. The same thing goes with sauces, cooking oils, creamers, and especially with coffee. Watch coffee. I don't recommend drinking coffee. You're better off drinking the purple sticks. But coffee can add up really fast. I remember one time I was at Starbucks years ago with a friend of mine. I don't buy anything from Starbucks. I wasn't buying anything from Starbucks. They wanted to stop there against my better judgment. And I remember I was just out of curiosity. I said, they had a book there, right? And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I wonder how much calories in this mocha frappa latte, whatever gay thing they had. And it was just ridiculous. And it was like, with the cream and everything they added to it, it was like 500 calories for a cup of coffee.
I had a friend of mine, his wife was having a real hard time with her weight. And, of course, she had a real hard time with her attitude, too. She was a real nightmare. God,
I digress. I don't know.
I'm in that mood today. And I remember he told me, he found out that I was dating, right? Again, because Sharon passed away, and he's a pastor friend of mine. He goes, when you date, you got to try to find somebody either on the far side of menopause or the back side of menopause, but don't go into menopause with them. And I said to him, I know Sharon and I got to do that too. And I said that was an adventure. And but his wife had come in with these 32-ounce super glugs of coffee with all this cream and she was fighting her weight. And finally, I told her, I said, look, here's the deal. I said, you could drink that if you want. It's like 2,000 calories. I said, but it's up to you. And then her response was, don't tell me what to do. And I'm like,
that face.
I'm like, gosh, all right, that was just awful. I mean,
frightening.
No, it was frightening. And he goes, this menopause is real, Ted. And I'm like, yeah, I got it, And then, but she's still awful to this day. She's still going through it. Let me say it. And so the other day I was talking to this lady, and she was, she'd gone to the Columbia restaurant, right? And she gets that big salad, which they pour like a cup of oil on it.
You always, and let me stop real quick. If you get a salad at a restaurant, always get the dressing on the side. You know how much is actually on there.
And she was trying to lose weight, and I told her, I said, it's got like a cup of oil. And I said, and it's canola oil and soybean oil, and it tastes great, but it's got all these seasonings and herbs and fresh garlic in it. I said, but that's almost 2,000 calories for a cup of oil.
Yeah, but a tablespoon is like 120 calories. Yeah. Just a tablespoon.
And I told her, I said, and again, it was like, don't tell me what to do as far as how to eat a salad. I said, do what you want to do. And I don't know what, here's the thing. It's like we talked a few months ago. We talked about, choices and consequences. If you tell somebody, hey, look, this is what's in there, do what you want to do. They don't have to get mad at you. They can do what they want to do.
They don't have to listen either. They can do whatever they want.
But the point is, a lot of people just get really mad over little. What I would always do is this. I would take the salad dressing on the side, and then I would dip my fork in the edge of it and put it on my salad.
If you want to add it at the top of the salad, look at how much you're pouring. You got a spoon on the table.
Well, just
do a tablespoon. Do
that's
2 tablespoons.
That's 120 calories.
You know what's in it because they bring out those cups sometimes, and you sit there, drizzle it on there, and all of a sudden.
Well, no, the Columbia literally comes out with like a cup of oil. They pour it on it, and you're like, geez,
it tastes amazing if they do olive oil. It's great.
But again, one of the primary ingredients on the stuff they sell at the shelf at Publix is canola oil and soybean oil. Oh, yeah. So you got to ask yourself the question: what are they using at the restaurant?
Yeah.
And you ask them, they don't tell you. They say, well, it's, you can buy whatever at the gift shop. But the problem that you get is don't get mad at people if they give you a suggestion. It's okay. You don't have to listen. And don't try to convince people who you don't want to argue with. Don't even worry about it. It doesn't matter. Don't let them take your piece away from them. If they want to eat a quart of salad oil a day and they're trying to lose weight with it, okay. If they say they can do it, let them have fun with it.
Yeah.
If they tell you that elephants can fly, they can sprout wings, you don't have to argue with them. If they're that deluded, let them believe the elephant can fly. It doesn't matter. You don't have to win these arguments with people. You don't have to give them your energy. Really important.
All right. Habit number 7. Eating oversized portions.
That's a big one.
That's the big one, guys.
That's restaurants.
Portion control.
Yeah,
Portion control.
yeah.
Just because it's on your plate doesn't mean you have to finish it all. Take it home if you want. One of the biggest impacts you can do, I'm going to give you some really good advice right now. Pick the size of plate or bowl you're going to use at a regular basis on your house and stick with it.
I use small ones.
I use small ones. What happens is you'll start, once you get a hang of it, you no longer have to measure food. I haven't weighed food in years. I don't have to. I know exactly what I'm eating. And what happens is you get used to eating the same amounts of food based on whatever calorie intake you need and protein structure you need for the meal. Remember, you're eating to maintain health and energy and muscle recovery and etc. You're not eating to be happy. Our bodies were never designed to eat to be happy.
You're not talking to foodies right now. They eat to be happy. They take pictures of their food and send it to their friends.
Well, that's a you problem. That's not a me problem. I can't help you on that one. It's there. And don't get me wrong. I love a filet. I love some good food sometimes trying it. But as far as every meal needing to be an exciting adventure, and I'm going on this new journey deep into the world of food, dude, I just need food. I just need chicken, rice, green beans. I'm done. So watch portion control. I've watched a lot of people eat clean and still have problems dropping weight because they eat these massive plates of food.
Well, they're not plates, they're platters. They put out a platter of food. I mean, it's like 18 inches across.
I mean, you can end up making chicken and rice too much. If you make it this big of a plate and you pour about a cup of ranch on it and you dump a handful of shredded cheese, gosh, chicken rice just turned into a 1,500 calorie meal.
And you garnish it with a cup, tables or a whole cup of walnuts. There you go. Now you got a 3,000 calorie meal that you don't need.
If you're gonna use something on there, like I said, avocado bases are great. Even a little bit of avocado. If you want to have a little bit extra fat, you want to look at calories, you're maintaining it. That's good. But watch your portion control. That's a huge one. When you go to a restaurant, this is the next one that's on this list right here. Actually, number 9 is. And number 8 is eating while standing.
Oh, by the way, eating oversized portions. Now listen to me for a second. When you go to a restaurant and you're with your girlfriend or your wife or your husband, and you're trying to drop weight, just split the stinking meal.
It says that right here. Ask for a half portion split with someone.
No,
well, I'm going to get to that one in a second. Yeah, that's number 9. Number 8. Now, this is one I actually learned this week because I'm really bad about this. I'm always walking around. I'm talking all the time. I'm constantly doing stuff. Camera 4? Camera 4 on here. So look at this. Eating while standing. Standing over the sink, at the counter, in front of the stove tends to go hand in hand with overeating because it's usually rushed and less mindful, making it hard to notice fullness. These habits often pair with snacking or quick meals that add more calories over time. Try to eat as many meals as possible seated at a table without distractions. Sit down, eat the meal. Notice when you start feeling comfortably satisfied. Relaxing and slowing down builds a stronger connection between eating and satisfaction, which naturally reduces the need to scarf down more food. A lot of times I'm doing stuff and I'll just got a plate of food and I just shovel it down. It is what it is. It's not a good habit at all. It's something that I'm working on, but standing while eating is something that I personally am going to start trying to do better on. And it's not that I'm eating more actually. It's just I'm eating what I have and I'm just standing there, I'm walking around. So I didn't realize this was not that healthy for you. Lana gets on to me all the time. She's like, can you sit down and eat? I'm like, why? I have things to do. She's like, yeah, eat. I'm like, no, I'm going to eat and walk. So I'm working on that one. Number 9 on this list here. Frequent restaurant meals and not considering leftovers. There is nothing wrong with going in and having food leftovers. I do this all the time. There's a restaurant called 1961 in Lakeland. Amazing food. Probably one of the only places in Polk County that actually still has good, clean, quality food. Only a few of them. And they have a meal on here called Vaca Frita. And so when it says right here on habit 9, restaurant portions are already double or triple what you normally eat. The Vaca Frita they have is beans and rice and beef brisket with an egg on top with these onions. But it's a meal. Like it's a portion. I very rarely eat the entire thing. I'll usually eat half of it then, and I'll take it home and eat half of it later.
The great one to split.
It's a great one to split, or like I said, I don't split food. Like I will not split a meal with you, ever. Don't ever ask me to split a meal. I will get, and I will tell you to leave. Do not bother me. I want my food, and I'm going to eat it, and I'm going to use what I want, and I'm going to take it back. But some people like to split meals at restaurants. Like, Dad, super cool, that works great. But I don't split meals. I want my food, I'm going to eat it, and I'm going to eat the rest of it later. But
You've always been like that.
I'm funny about it. It's my meal. But don't get in a position where you get a plate of food, and you're like, it's my food. I'm going to eat all of it right now.
One time I tried to split an eggless donut with you. Boy, that went badly for both of us. You're about 5 or 6 years old. It
One
was
time
your
you tried
donut.
to split a Snicker bar with me, and you threw it away. I wouldn't split it. I would not split it.
So I stood in the dumpster.
Through the dumpster, and I was like, I'm never splitting food again. It's got PTSD from Snicker bar. But so that's a big one on here. It says not having it all in front of you prevents a tendency to overeat. That's why a lot of times if you have the meal, once you get to a certain point, have them box it up. Because it's easy. If you have a plate there and you've eaten half of it, you keep looking at it, you're talking, you keep picking at it. So control that. And quite frankly, limit your restaurant meals if you're trying to burn body fat. Most restaurants, like I said, the portion control's out of control with it. Most of the calories out of control. And half the time you don't know it's all in the food. And quite frankly, you'll spend a lot of money going out to eat. Like I've looked at numbers for you. You go out to eat 2 or 3 times a week.
And I've got a little pet peeve.
What, splitting meals?
He got a, I'll go there. He had a Snickers bar given to him at a church.
Oh, now you're going to try to rebuttal this one, huh?
And I was trying to teach him to share, which he still doesn't do with food.
Don't share my food.
He doesn't. and I said, can I have a bite of the Snickers bar? And I only wanted a tiny bite. No! He's like 6, 7 years old. I'm like, you need to learn to share this stuff. No! I said, we hadn't opened it yet, so I took it and threw it in the dumpster. Boy, he had a meltdown in the car.
I did. I was mad.
And reminds you of
yes,
Stetson,
and I have one now.
You have one. And then one time we had this donut. And I said, can I have a bite of the donut? I don't want half the donut. I just wanted a bite. Trying to teach him how to share. It never worked. And he had a conniption fit, so we didn't do it. I think I ate the whole donut.
Threw the trash.
Yeah. And finally it didn't help. And so I used to always say to him, okay, Austin, don't make a donut out of this. And he did it for years. He knows that. And it was funny. And we used that as like a little self thing. Now, one other thing. Here's a little thing. This is a personal pet peeve. And it's just disrespectful to the person cooking the food. Don't start eating before they come to the table.
That is a fact.
That's just rude, okay? And so, you got to pray. You need to eat. Don't be such a winker that you got to start chowing down before the person who cooked the food comes to the table. Yeah. Now, lady, if you're the person who cooked the food, or husbands, if you're the ones who cooked the food, don't sit there and piddle in the kitchen for 30 minutes and make everybody wait on you
Also
either.
true.
Okay? Put the food on the table when you're ready to get on the table to have food with them.
Have everybody come down. And they say this, is that especially if you got kids, you guys need to have at least one meal together as a family.
Well, and then the other thing, too, is, don't
say grace, man.
And don't jump up and run away while everybody's still eating. Sit there as a family, eat the meal until everybody's done. Be respectful.
It's called table etiquette, and it seems to have been lost in this younger generation. I've noticed that, too. Especially with waiting for everybody to eat. I get on to my kids about that, too, sometimes.
I got a funny story.
What'd you do?
A dating story.
Oh gosh, dude, I'm not even done with the list yet.
Well,
Let me finish the list.
This is a funny story. So I go to this restaurant in Ybor City. It wasn't a Columbia. It was a real fancy Italian restaurant. And we go in there. We're eating, and this lady is broke. I don't realize how broke she is, and so she orders like 2 or 3 entrees. This is before I knew better, and I'm thinking to myself, this is going to be an expensive meal, and all of a sudden, I have the plate. I have this little bitty plate of food, and we're in a big 4-top table. I pick up the plate and I move it over here. And this lady comes up, she melts down on me. That's rude to move your plate. Ann Landers says you can't do that.
Ann Landers?
Some column person. And I looked at her and I said, I thought I was paying for the meal. I said, would you like to split the check?
Yeah. Then you can tell me where I put my plate.
Yeah. No. It was a one and done date. And then I ended up getting the bill. And she literally took 2-3 big platefuls of food home with her. She did it on purpose. And I got stuck paying the bill. And I almost got up, and I've done it before. Don't get mad at me. I need my bill, and I got to go. And I pay the bill, and I walk out of the restaurant and leave them with the rest of their bill. And I've done it. And you think, well, I can't believe you do something like that. If someone's really rude to you and they're really, really mean to you, why are you paying to be with them? And why are you paying for their meal? I'm just asking the question. And it was so funny because I'm not going to go any further. I'm going to stop right there. But the point is just be real careful when you're with people and just show them proper respect. That's all. Just show them respect. That's all you got to do.
I remember your buddy in Tampa, he said that's a big thing as far as with dating now is these girls will go on dates with guys and they'll go on an hour-long date. They'll get all liquored up, drink 2 or 3 or 4 drinks.
$50, $60, $80.
Yeah. They'll sudden, sorry, my friends text me, got to go, gone. You get stuck with $100 liquor bill and like
it happened to John.
Yeah, I'm like, gosh, what a horrible world.
Well, so my response is, I don't buy alcohol.
Yeah,
and I tell them, I don't buy alcohol. Don't drink. Don't buy alcohol. And if you want to buy alcohol, you get your own check.
Tab.
You get your tab out. And then as soon as they order the first alcohol on their own tab, I said my response is always the same. I got to go. Okay, let me say something.
I'll be at habit number 10 in a second, guys.
Let me
Like
say something.
rabbit holes.
Okay, when a guy gets drunk, all right, I saw it at my mom's German beer tavern. When a guy gets drunk, he's pretty disgusting. When a woman gets drunk and she's a sloppy drunk, it looks rough, man. It's not a good look.
No,
and so,
it's not.
and you think, well, I can't believe you differentiate between men and women getting drunk. Well, they're great. Then don't watch the show. I'm going to differentiate. Here's the thing. I've seen it over and over again, especially when they start falling down and puking and all the rest. It's one of those things where you kind of go, wow, this is my date. This is great. God, am I embarrassed? This is awful.
Holding her hair back behind the bar because she's puking.
No, and the favorite one was when I told her I had to go because I wasn't going to deal with it anymore, and she chases me out in the parking lot yelling and screaming because I left. That's always fun, too. And you think to yourself, that really happened? Once. And the crazy thing about it is you kind of go, wow, I don't need to deal with this. When they start drinking and they're going to turn a sloppy or mean drunk, why in the world do I want to wait around for the theatrics? I'm just going to ease on out the back door or the front door or whatever and be done with it. And you think, well, I can't believe you'd go out with someone. Well, now I've changed it. I tell them in advance, I don't do alcohol. If you want to do alcohol, I'm not that guy. Don't go out with me. Forget it. And that stops all that. But I tell you what, a sloppy woman drunk puking in the back room or laying on the floor, that's about as bad as it gets. And it's just as bad for a guy, but for some reason, for a woman to do that, that's pretty low rent, period. I'm sorry. Austin, go ahead. Number 10.
I don't know how we got down this rabbit hole of bar puking and everything.
Oh, I've seen it all, bud.
So have I. Habit 10, being sedentary most of the day. This is a big one.
That's a bad one.
Long periods of sitting reduce daily energy expenditure, calories burned. Without regular weight resistance training, your metabolism slows down to a snail pace due to loss of muscle mass. Research has found this combination makes other weight loss efforts very inefficient. Even when a person's diet is healthy, inactivity can make fat loss much slower and harder to maintain. Exercise enhances the benefit of healthy, blood sugar stabilizing diet by improving insulin sensitivity and promoting fat burning.
That's one more thing to cover this.
Yeah.
I got one more I'm going to cover.
This is one of the reasons why I tell you the berberine and the cinnamon extract are so crucial. This helps increase insulin sensitivity. Insulin sensitivity, if it's in a good range, your body doesn't produce as much insulin, doesn't need to. It's more sensitive to it, meaning you can regulate blood sugar better and you're not having massive insulin spikes. This always helps by being active. Even if you're at your job, say you're on a computer all day, because I'll be like this, I'll be at the office and I'm on the phone and all of a sudden I've been sitting there for 2-3 hours and I'm like, gosh, flew by. Get up and walk around. Do something. Don't just sit there for long periods of time. Another thing is in the morning, getting up and doing active fasted cardio or something in the morning is a great option. Doing just walking, jogging, round trampoline, elliptical, whatever you want to do, I don't care, but do something. Action is everything. Being active.
One other indicator of how long you're going to live is how fast you walk.
No.
That's a new one, by the way. And I was going to cover that the other day, but I forgot to. And the crazy part about it is that, I've seen it. And I've seen people who are sedentary and all of a sudden they're like 60, 65, 70 years old and they start taking baby steps.
Yep.
And they start walking like old men and old women. And you think, well, what does that mean? That means their ligaments and their tendons have tightened up on them and their muscles have atrophied. And they basically have a problem now stretching out and walking fast. And they start walking real slow. And the sad part about that is that can be so easily prevented by stretching. And I do that every single day when I go in the gym. I stretch my hamstrings, I stretch my quads, I stretch everything, and I learn it helps better knee flexibility, better ankle, better calves, all the other stuff it does. And I've learned if you don't do that, especially if you have to do a lot of research like we have to for this show, you can't just sit around all day. You've got to get out, you've got to walk. There's a real nice walk around Lake Hollingsworth in Lakeland. It's a 3-mile walk. I try to do that as much as I can when it's cooler. Now, this time of the year, I don't go over there. It's too doggone hot in August. But I've learned you've got to stretch, you got to walk, and you got to take big steps. I've got friends of mine. They're my age, and I'm always waiting for them. They're always slow because they're so stove up.
Move with a purpose.
But you got to move with a purpose, and so make sure you stretch every single day. It's very, very, very important. Also,
it says here, build 2 to 5 minute movements. You have breaks every hour. Quick walk, stretches, or a set of bodyweight exercises. Add strength training a few times per week to preserve muscle is a big one, which supports long-term fat loss. Remember, the more muscle tissue you maintain, the more metabolic functioning you have. You burn more body fat. Your metabolism stays more efficient.
50 calories a day per pound.
That's why I always tell people, when you're trying to stay in shape, you can't just do straight cardio all the time. You've got to do some type of basically weight resistance. And again, it doesn't have to be, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go do 315 on inclines. I love doing that. Used to do that. Shoulder can't handle that heavy weight anymore. I do more volume training now. Do something, getting active. Even if you just want to go buy a set of dumbbells off Craigslist and have 2 or 3 dumbbells in your garage.
You can do everything with dumbbells.
Yeah, I've told people that. I've been to so many hotels where I'm traveling, and the gym sucks. I mean, it's the cheapest equipment. They have 50 treadmills and nobody's on them. They have no decent equipment, and they got a rack of dumbbells, and they got a bench. You can buy a cheap bench, and you can buy a couple sets of dumbbells off Craigslist used for like $100. People are selling their gyms all the time because they don't use them. You can literally go out there and do a 5, 10, 15-minute workout in a garage and train just about everything if you have an adjustable bench. Mm-hmm. You can do lunges off of it. You can do rows off of it. You can do presses off of it. You can do anything off of it.
Flat bench flies. You know
everything. Mm-hmm. So, again, that's just options on there. So that was the top 10 habits to avoid if you're trying to stay good shape, burning body fat. And somebody made a comment here. They said in the YouTube, they said, I rarely eat out. When I do, I eat until I'm full and ask for a to-go box for leftovers. When I leave the restaurant, I look for a homeless person to give the box to. That's also an option if you don't want to eat all your food. You can give it away. But I don't really like sharing my food. So I'll just buy somebody else more food and give it to them.
Oh, here. The new Spider-Man kind of twisted. Demons jumping in and out of people.
Yeah, since we said it, I didn't see it. You saw it.
Oh, yeah, I just saw it. I started thinking, because he did it all in caps, so he was yelling at me. Please don't yell at me.
Walking with ultimate armor.
Okay.
Calm down with the volume.
I'm not saying that I recommend everything that's in Spider-Man. I just said it was a good movie. But you're right, though. The demons jumping in and out of people, that was pretty weird.
James says, homemade ranch is my weakness with homemade mayo and seasoning. If I didn't follow you guys, I'd be extremely fat. Good, James. I'm glad you're not extremely fat.
Okay.
It's a good option.
So let's talk about scrambled thoughts. Scrambled thoughts are usually caused by a temporary overload of your brain's working memory, severe vitamin B deficiency, deficiencies in 5-HTP, deficiencies in omega-3 oil, chronic physical fatigue, or underlying psychological stress. When this happens, your brain struggles to sort information, making your internal monologue feel fragmented, fast, or disconnected. You start jumping around. You can't focus. Medical experts categorize the reasons behind scattered thoughts. It would be the 3 main reasons. Number 1, sleep deprivation.
Yeah.
That's really important. Number 2, sensory overload, constant multitasking, heavy screen time, and background noise overwhelm your prefrontal cortex. You don't need to be sleeping with background noise at night. It's not good for you.
What about a fan? I like my fan.
Fan's okay because it's consistent.
Yeah.
Nutritional tips, dehydration or sudden drops in blood sugar and or nutritional deficiencies, which I just mentioned, very important. Also, mental stress and health factors, anxiety and panic. High stress floods the brain with cortisol, forcing it into a hyper-vigilant survival mode state. Burnout and depression. Mental exhaustion slows down processing time. That's why every once in a while, we take a couple days off. I know you get mad. I got it. But we have to do it just to prevent burnout, often causing thoughts to feel cloudy or completely blocked. Neurodivergence, conditions like ADHD, impact executive function. Now, I'm going to say one other thing. Falling and having traumatic head injury, it's a problem.
TBIs are serious, man.
Woo, it's real. And if you got kids playing sports and they're getting impacts, you make sure they have the best helmet you can buy. I remember years ago, Austin had a motorcycle when he was like 18 years old. And I went and bought him a Kevlar helmet. I said, we got to get it. And it's that thing was $1,000. It was $1,000 20 years ago. And
race helmet.
Full race helmet. And I told him, I said, no, we're not doing this. I said, number 1, I don't want you on a motorcycle. That's number 1. Number 2, if you're going to be on one, I'm going to get you the best helmet I can get you. And I did. And we still have those helmets. And they still look great.
In my man cave.
Yeah, me just sitting on my counter in the kitchen. It's great. It's got a Florida State Tomahawks on it. It's great. Neurodivergence conditions, remember that. Number 3, medical conditions and biological shifts. Hormonal imbalances, fluctuations in thyroid hormones, pregnancy or menopause can induce severe brain fog. Also menopause, when a guy starts to reduce testosterone over the age of 40. Really important you take the right supplements to help maintain that good testosterone. Scrambled thinking. Now, it's primarily caused by your brain's prefrontal cortex becoming overwhelmed. That's why when you fall and hit your frontal cortex, it's a problem. This drops your ability to filter out distractions, regulate focus, and organize thoughts. It also prevents you from encapsulating thoughts and putting them on a shelf and not allowing yourself to be overwhelmed by them, which prevents you from sleeping because you can't stop thinking about them all night. You make sure you don't fall down. So when you get up in the morning, when you got to go in the shower or you got to basically use the bathroom and you pull your shorts off to use the bathroom, don't sit there and do a pirouette on one foot. It's trying to stand on one toe on concrete or on tile. If you're over the age of 20, don't do that. Sit down and put your clothes back on, because if you slip on a wet floor, you can have a serious injury. I see it all the time. The mental chaos usually stems from a mix of biological, nutritional deficiencies, by psychological and environmental triggers. Also psychological and emotional causes. Chronic stress floods the brain with cortisol. Anxiety disorders. This is a big deal. That's why people are always stuck on that one drug, Xanax. Creates a loop of rapid, intrusive thoughts that hijack concentration. Sensory overload, excessive noise, bright screens, chaotic environments, overwhelm processing limits. Use a blue screen blocker, real important. Turn off all the lights when you go to bed at night. Burnout, prolonged mental exhaustion completely drains your cognitive energy reserves. That's a fact. Also, I'm going to say one other thing. I covered it yesterday. Some of you guys got mad at me. If you're in a really lousy marriage or a really lousy relationship, you need to really reevaluate what you're doing, because of what it's doing to your brain and what it's doing to your cognitive functioning. If all you're doing is fighting all the time with somebody you're dating, that you're married to, you need to get counseling, period. You got to get past that.
Or just break up.
Or just break up if you're not married. If you're married, you need to get counseling first.
It doesn't worse being miserable around people. They take your energy out of you.
Well, yeah, they're like vampires. They suck the energy out of you.
They do. Like your batteries constantly draining around them.
Biological, life psychology, sleep deprivation, we just talked about. Very, very important. Also, working memory overload, continuous partial attention. You're jumping around constantly. Digital distraction, high-speed scrolling rewards your brain with quick dopamine hits. But if you don't do that on a regular basis, you start getting bored if you get addicted to it. And the problem with that is, it's not somebody else's responsibility to keep you from not being bored and making sure that you're, quote, happy. Are you happy? What does that mean? That's based on happenings. It's the righteous peace and joy through the infilling of the Holy Spirit that God gives us when we believe in, put our hearts and minds in Christ, that makes us have that joy on the inside. It's not happiness. Happiness is a roller coaster, up and down, up and down. Oh, I bought a new Corvette. I'm happy. Oh, I don't have a vet now. Oh, I bought a new, pickup truck. I'm happy. I don't. Oh, I bought a new dress. Oh, I'm happy. Oh, I'm not happy now. I don't have a new dress. Oh, I bought new shoes. Oh, I'm happy. And so this is a nightmare. And all of a sudden you're like super unstable. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. Nobody wants to be around that crap, and nobody wants to deal with it. You got to find a stability in your life.
I don't know. That new ZR1's pretty cool, man. That's a cool car. I saw another one the other day, 1,000 horsepower. That's pretty cool. I'm sorry, you got me on car rabbit hole.
So sleep deprivation, chronic stress with high cortisol, dehydration, really important. Make sure you're drinking enough water. And nutrient deficiencies. You got to have enough B12, D, iron, all of this stuff. It keeps your brain going. B complex, 5-HTP, omega-3 fats, glucose spikes and crashes. That's what I also just talked about earlier. Eating processed carbs for breakfast, skipping meals, not having at least a protein snack causes blood sugar swings, leaving your brain starved of consistent energy. And basically, when you realize that, ADD and ADHD and all these things that people are being diagnosed with, a lot of it from autism, and a lot, not from autism, but from the shots, anxiety, depression, and burnout, and hormone fluctuations, all of this is very real, including thyroid dysfunction. That's why our thyroid support is really, really good. Long COVID. Guys, long COVID's legit. And I have seen people get depressed from it and never come out of it. And I told you that doctor over there in Germany told me the number, not in Germany, but in France, told me the biggest thing he's seen in his practice now since COVID is suicide. Really important. 5-HTP, cod liver oil, and get yourself on some motivational tapes like from Zig Ziglar. You can get them online now for free and find out how to have a good attitude. Really important. Medication side effects, common drugs, antihistamines, sleeping aids, certain blood pressure medications can cause you to become unbelievably forgetful and cause senile dementia. Never forget that. And you basically, and realize that, all of this stuff, the dizziness, the fatigue, the headaches, all of it can be directly affected by the amount of stress you're going under. If your life is stressful, try to mitigate it and get the stress to come down to reduce the cortisol level. Really, really, really important. And those are the ways that we want to talk about how to help unscramble your memory. But I've talked to people before, then they have their thoughts. They're so disjointed, you can't even have a conversation with them. And they drive you nuts trying to talk to them because everything about them is just unstable. And it's very important to make sure you maintain nutrient density in the food that you eat and the supplements that you take to maintain stability and positive thoughts and consistent thoughts. Because if you're this, up and down, all that, nobody's going to get along with you. You need to be flat. The kids used to always say to me when they were younger, they'd say, don't talk to mom about this. Always talk to dad because he's always the same. He's flat. And, and you say, well, that sounds boring. Great. Okay, I'm consistent, so I'm boring. Oh, well, life goes on. At least if I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. If I tell you I'm not going to do something, I'm not going to do it. Wouldn't you rather have that than all up and down, people lying to you all the time? Don't allow yourself to be associated with people that aren't consistent, that are constantly up and down, up and down, up and down. I tell you what they will do. They will drag you into a ditch because you're always trying to help them compensate for what they don't have or what they think they need or whatever, and it drains you. Don't allow yourself to get around that kind of stuff because, guys, long-term wise, and girls, long-term wise, it will drive you nuts and basically put you into a situation where it starts to directly affect your health. It really will. Any comments?
Spot on. That also includes when you're talking about racing thoughts as well. As far as you just cluttered up mind, that's why you got it.
Are you talking about going to the track in the Corvette, the racing thoughts?
Racing thoughts, yes, side thoughts. But that was somebody who said that the YouTube comment, they asked racing thoughts. Yeah, so that's why a lot of these things that he said and he recommended are really, really important. And making sure, there's a big one too I always recommend, is make sure you're getting adequate amount of fat in your diet. Good, healthy fat.
Omega-3s.
You got to have omega-3s. A lot of times when people start trying to burn body fat, they drop calories down. Great option. What happens is, and I've been about this too before when I was younger, I was kind of learning my diet for contest prep. Sometimes you start cutting too much fat out of your diet because you're dropping calories down. Your brain stops working like it needs to. It just doesn't work properly. You need good omega-3 fats. That's why the Ultra Mega Fish Oil we have is a great product to take every day. We have the other children's DHA for kids. That's really important. Kids need good fats in their diet. You've got to have omega-3 fats. And somebody asked a question in the comments here about, is avocado oil healthy? There is an article about it being basically toxic. That is complete and total bogus. There was a study showing that there was a couple brands that had phthalates in them, and they also mixed them.
They put extracting agents in them.
Correct. But now, real, true, 100% purified avocado oil is great for you. The problem is there's a lot of brands that cut them and a lot of brands that have basically contaminants and phthalates in them. So look at the brands you're using and always get it in glass. Never get avocado oil in plastic cans or jugs.
Okay, also, let's go ahead and cover this food. This is a death food. Don't eat it. Whoa, that was kind of grim. Ooh. You hear me? This is a death food. Don't eat it. Write this down. You're thinking, well, you could have talked all day. You got my attention on this one. And it's on the top 10 list of foods never to eat, which we're going to burn through real fast right now. Number 1, this is a death food. Don't eat it. Pork. Yep. Period. High-fat luncheon meats, bacon, sausage, ham, pepperoni, hot dogs. 3 hot dogs a week increases the risk of leukemia in children by 9 times. Don't do this to your children. Really important. If you're going to give them hot dogs, give them all turkey hot dogs or all beef hot dogs with no sodium nitrite. Don't ever give them pork. Don't you ever eat pork. You think, well, I'll eat pork if I want to. You can't tell me what to do. Okay, great.
It doesn't even look like a good animal to eat. Let's just be real.
That's disgusting photographs, man. It's nasty.
But it's hogs. What is pork? Anyways, I digress. Go next.
Number 2, shellfish, lobster, oyster, shrimp, prawns, that kind of stuff. No, a lobster is an arthropod. A cockroach is an arthropod. All a lobster is a giant cockroach, period. You don't eat it. Don't eat shellfish. We have a bunch of people die every year in Florida from this stuff, get unbelievable toxicity from it, end up in the hospital and die, being eaten by parasites. You don't need this.
Does that really also look like an animal too you want to eat? It looks like a cockroach with claws. It goes in the water. That's what they call it. Ocean. Yeah. The cockroach.
Well, if I opened up the refrigerator at night and started,
these things start running across the floor,
and they were covered with roaches, you'd be like, I don't think I'll pass.
Yeah, you go in the kitchen and these pop out in front of the fridge, claws snapping at you. Would you be like, man, that looks so tasty. I almost put some butter on that thing.
Nasty.
Yeah, I'm going to stomp on it.
Number 3 are hydrogenated oils. We all know that unless you live in a cave in Afghanistan.
And the seed oils, as far as the soybean oil.
Omega-6s. Number 4, stay away from is basically, the junk food, the category, the high fructose corn syrup, ultra-processed stuff. You got to stay away from all of that stuff. You got to avoid all of those types of foods. It's very, very, very important that you don't eat those. Number 6 are the canola oils and all those types of things. Yeah. 7 on that list is chlorine and fluoride. Don't use a filter. Don't be a filter. If you're going to pour that junk in your body, you're going to have to filter it out through your kidneys and your liver. You don't want that stuff. Number 8, high-fat dairy. We talked about that. Make sure it's raw, organic, state certified. That's it. Organic cow's milk, organic, goat's milk, raw, certified. Okay. Number 9, stay away from the coffee. Just use purple sticks. It's
way better.
It's way better for you.
Feed your cells.
And you're getting B vitamins. Just don't do the coffee.
And the antioxidants with the acai, that's one of the main reasons when I talked about this, when we put this product together, I wanted something that gave you that kick, that had that stimulant to it with the green tea, but I wanted something that actually feeds your body. Remember, Coffee doesn't give you any nutrients. Let's just be real. There's no significant benefit to coffee. Some people talk, well, it's got this, coffee bean extract, and there's very little benefit whatsoever. It stimulates basically norepinephrine, gives you basically a shot of adrenaline. That's what it does. This actually has ingredients in it like the methylcobalamin B12, like the acai.
Okay, 2 more to go on the top 10 list. I missed one. Artificial sweeteners. Just stay away from them, guys. Don't use any of it. Don't even use Sweet and Low. Don't use aspartame. Don't use chlorocarbons. Don't use Splenda. Just if you have to do something, gosh, as much as I don't want to do it, just use real sugar. It's not good for you, but it's better than this other stuff is. And a little bit of honey would be better for you than all that. At least you get a few nutrients in it. But just try to avoid all of that. Or you can use, monk fruit and something, or stevia in moderation. And number 10, we talked about it already, is alcohol. And alcohol increases the risk of pancreatic cancer, liver cancer, cirrhosis of the liver, alcoholism, osteoporosis, and it really runs your bill up on a date. Okay, I got to throw a little humor in there. Okay, keep your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus all the days of your life, for he is the author, the finisher, the perfecter of our faith. We can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. God loves you. Jesus loves you. I love you. Austin loves you. Thank you for your support. But guys, listen to me. If you have God in your heart, if you have Jesus in your heart, if you're filled with the Holy Spirit, it makes getting through life and trying to make healthy choices easier. These aren't rules we're giving you today. These are just choices.
Choices.
There's options. Yeah. And they come with a lot of really bad and good consequences. Great health, great energy, great vitality, or heart disease, diabetes, cancer. You got to just pick what you want. Don't make it a rule. Make it an option. Look at them as the 10 suggestions, sometimes you could call them in the Old Testament. But they're pretty good suggestions. We need to be obedient to them. Like, thou shalt not kill. That'll keep you out of prison. Okay?
That's probably a good one to
follow.
follow.
You got to remember, there's certain things you got to do. Have no other gods before me. There's certain things you got to do.
There's a time and a place to be rebellious. There is. Jesus was rebellious in the temple when the little hat people had taken over. He flipped the tables, made a whip.
He had enough of them.
He was rebellious. But there's other things. It's like
rebellious toward their sin.
Correct. But when you go, well, he's telling me I shouldn't kill people. I'm not going to listen to him. I'm going to kill somebody. Well, that 30 years in prison is going to really suck now because you want to be rebellious. Certain things aren't worth trying to be rebellious.
You said something yesterday. You said, Dad, you told me years ago that, you can make a mistake. You can make a mistake once or twice, but you can't continually make the same mistakes expecting different results. You're going to have a horrible life, and you're going to have horrible choices. It's like this. Like if you go to Walmart and everybody's running around, in carts. They can't even walk, right?
I've been Walmart in a long time.
If somebody said to me the other day, Walmart is where people go when their dreams have died. Where dreams go to die at Walmart.
That's horrible. Gosh.
And I thought, wait a minute, that sounds horrible. I thought, dreams go to die at Walmart. And I thought, wait a minute.
But then I'm sitting there going,
yeah.
Is he wrong?
Well, no, because they're to a point now where they're having to shop at Walmart because they made so many bad choices they can't go anywhere else, and they're miserable riding around in a cart. Their dreams have died.
They take up the whole lane because they're so wide.
And then Mike said something to me last night. He started talking to me about credit scores.
Yeah.
And he goes, dating has a credit score. And he goes, and I said, what do you mean by that? He said, if a person's been in a long relationship for a long time and their spouse dies, they got a pretty good beacon score as far as dating. If a person's never been in a relationship for more than 1 week or 2 weeks, they have no they have no credit score. They have no background.
That is a red flag and a half. You talk to somebody and they're like, well, yeah, I've got like 4 or 5 exes this year. I had 4 or 5, 6 boyfriends last year.
Yeah.
That's horrible. Oh, one other thing. I'm going to cook the clock. I want to tell you, I'll cover this on Monday. You guys stay tuned. Vitamin C taken during pregnancy improves respiratory function.
Oh, absolutely.
Studies show.
Yeah.
This is interesting. They actually did this study on women that smoked during pregnancy. You guys are going to be shocked on the results.
No, the vitamin C is critical for that.
I'll go into detail, but that's cliff notes on it. Essentially, these women all smoked during pregnancy, and they had a group that basically took a high-dose vitamin C.
I've seen that personally. I know somebody who did this.
And it massively reduced the side effects of child. Now, let me clarify this. I am not recommending smoking while pregnant, but my gosh, you're telling me that a high-dose vitamin C?
Well, no, the kid that I saw, the mother smoked, but took her supplements, took her vitamin C. That kid's got an IQ through the roof. He's super smart. And you think, and my question was always, how did that happen? Hey, it's like the vitamin C. It's having enough nutrients to basically combat what the mother is doing from a bad standpoint. Hey, God loves you, so do we. What's your final closing thing?
Final close, my friends. Check out a lot of the bestsellers that we have on the site. Health articles. I post new stuff up there every day. My brother writes for us every single week. Check these articles out. Check out the bestsellers. Magnesium Brain Food, D3 Multiple. I appreciate you guys. Have a fantastic evening, great weekend. We'll talk to you again on this show Monday as always.
Love you guys.